In this video, I'll demonstrate how to use StatCrunch to construct a frequency distribution given a class list of intervals like we see here. So the first thing I want to do is open this data in StatCrunch. And then I'm going to go to Stat, Tables, Frequency. And I'm selecting where my data is located. There's only var 1. And normally I would just leave it at this to get the frequency and relative frequency, but we have some additional information of exactly the class or bin values. So notice that this first bin starts at 2.2. I could put in the additional zeros, but that's not required. And then I also need the class width or the bin width. So to get that, I can subtract these two values here that I see initially for these two first classes, and there is a width of 0.02. If you would like, you could store that data in a table. That's just up to you. But when I click Compute, I see the following information. This is the frequency column, the same column that you see here, and then relative frequency, same column that you would see here. The next thing that we're asked to do is to construct a frequency histogram of the data. So using this list here. You are picking from choices, so you may have enough information here to make that choice, but if you actually want to recreate that graph inside of StatCrunch, you would come to Graph and Histogram. And remember, our original data was in the column labeled var 1. I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to repeat that information about the bins. Remember, the bins started at 2.2, and I had a width of 0.02. There's some other stuff that you could add here, but none of that's necessary, so I'm just going to click Compute. And now I have a graph that I can compare to my answer choices. So let me move some things around my screen here. This being the best answer choice, and let me show you one more time here what that graph looks like in comparison. Notice that the shape is the same. It looks just a little bit distorted, maybe only because it's much shorter of a graph like this. Also notice that the correct choice of graph for the relative frequency distribution has the same shape as what we saw here. The only difference is what we're graphing along the y-axis is the relative frequencies that we had in that second chart here.